Good morning, boys and girls. It's good to be with you again this morning. Harper and Gentry, I hope you had a really good week. And Peyton and Cambry, I hope you had a really good week too. Sophia, I bet you've been having fun with your puppy. And Andrew and Whitfield, I hope you've been able to enjoy some nice time outside. Well, this morning I have a new book that I'd like to share with you. And it's called Maybe God is Like That Too. And this is written by a woman, and her name is Jennifer Grant. Oh, and just so you know, I didn't forget, Ainsley and Keaton, I hope you've had a really good week too. Are you ready to hear a story? Maybe God is like that too. I live in the city where the sidewalks and subway cars and buildings and buses are packed with people. But I've never seen God before. Someday I'll get this turning the page thing down pretty good. Grandma, does God live in the city? I asked one morning at breakfast. Yes, God is here, she says. You just need to know where to look. Whenever you see love, joy, and peace, God is there, she says, while stirring her tea. Wherever there's patience, kindness, and goodness, God is there too. When you see faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, that's God's Spirit at work. On the way to school, I'm on the lookout. I see a bus full of tourists and count 10 bright yellow taxis. I spy a man sweeping a stool, and Grandpa and Grandma and I laugh when we see a tiny dog wearing a fluffy purple sweater. At school, Grandma hands me my lunch and hugs me close before she says goodbye. That's what love looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. On the swings, I pump so hard I see over the wall and into the alley. My friends shout, "Higher, higher," as my feet fly way up into the sky. That's what joy looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. I like to swing. I wonder if you guys like to swing. I think it's fun. Outside, car horns blast and sirens scream. But my classroom is quiet and calm. That's what peace looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. It's nice to have quietness sometimes, isn't it? I try to tie my shoes, but the laces get all tangled around my fingers. My teacher sits down right beside me and shows me how to tie them. That's what patience looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. Is everybody learning how to tie their shoes, or have you learned how to tie your shoes? It can be quite difficult sometimes. The strings just don't want to cooperate. Now on the way home, I see a doorman wearing a red cape and a hat with a shiny brim. He's holding the door for a man using a wheelchair. The man moves very slowly, and the doorman chats with him and smiles. That's what kindness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. It's nice when we help each other. While I'm setting the table for dinner, there's a knock at the door. It's our neighbor from downstairs, bringing us a loaf of bread. It's golden brown and warm and wrapped in a thin white towel. That's what goodness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. Homemade bread. That's so yummy. After dinner, I work on my homework while Grandma stands at the kitchen sink, washing dishes and humming to herself, just like she does every single night. That's what faithfulness looks like to me. Maybe God looks like that too. At bedtime, Grandma sits at the edge of my bed, singing me a lullaby and stroking my head. She tucks my blankets up close around me. That's what gentleness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. Oh, it's nice to be all snuggled up in your bed and under your covers. Oh my. I lie in bed watching the curtains flutter. I want to talk about that dog we saw today and how I can swing high. But Grandma says that once I'm tucked in, I have to stay in bed until morning. I close my eyes and try to fall asleep. That's what self-control looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. Well, I know sometimes it can be hard to stay in bed because you're just so excited about something, but it's really good to stay in bed so you get a lot of good sleep that helps you grow. I saw God over and over again today. Whenever I saw love, joy, and peace, and wherever there was patience, kindness, and goodness, when I saw faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, I saw God's Spirit at work. I don't see God the way I see my friends, or the street lights, or the river. But I see signs of God's Spirit all around me, right here in the city. I know what God is like. Maybe I can be like that too. Now here's the Bible verse that this story comes from. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, and faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And that comes from Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 through 23a. Well, boys and girls, I hope that you get the opportunity to see God too when you're at play and when you're at home and when you get to go back to school. It's been fun being with you this morning, and know that I miss seeing you guys and your beautiful smiles so much. But I know one day, soon, we hope, that we'll get to be together again. Goodbye, boys and girls.